I was gonna start recording an intro to this, and then this happened. I'm not crying, just for reference. I'm sick. I don't know. It's like allergies, but I've never had allergies. Like, I've never had to deal with allergies. Like, it's either I'm getting a cold and I'm sick, or I'm perfectly fine. So this feels like I'm sick to me, but like my voice sounds different. My nose feels nasally and stuffed up. But anyways, so if you see me at any point in this and I just start doing this, it's because there's like a thing, there's a thing in my nose, in my sinuses, it's like, it feels like it's perpetually tickling my nose, and it makes me want to sneeze. Maybe that's allergies, I don't know. And it only makes this eye water. This eye's perfectly fine, this one just starts to water. So we're a hot mess, and it's the 1st of October. Welcome. So it's the Gilmore Girls Readathon. Woohoo! I'm so excited. I've been actually already watching Gilmore Girls because I couldn't wait for this vlog. So I'll show you guys like where I'm at in my rewatch. I guess it's a rewatch. I've kind of started in the middle because that's a lot of seasons and I'm kind of impatient, so I just kind of jumped to my favorite season, and I'll show you guys later what that is. But anyways, I did want to start like an intro clip, even though I don't think I'm actually going to get to do any reading anytime soon, at least not till later tonight. I do still have a lot of homework to do, and it's all due tomorrow. Leaving things for the last minute. I have an appointment to go to later today. And then also, my boyfriend and I want to go play Pokemon Go after the appointment. So I'll probably be home later this evening and then finish up homework and then get to reading. And then we'll talk about all the books that I'm reading. I don't have my book with me. It's fine. So anyways, I'm just going to continue working. I might move outside, although with my current condition, maybe I shouldn't be sitting outside in the cold, even though it is sunny outside. Another thing you may have noticed is my wonderful, lovely hair. It's so short, and I think actually shorter than I thought and shorter than I wanted. I don't know. So I did get a haircut. Like, look at this. That's just wild. Like, usually when because I have a tendency, like, what I like to do with my hair is I like part in the middle and then I push this forward because I like having my hair like framing me and like just all up in my face. When I do that, look, that's my hand already. That's the back of my hair. It's so short and it freaks me out a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to get it cut because the ends were just really dried and bad, and it was doing this thing where it wasn't curling at the bottom anymore. So I went in and I was like, hey, I don't know what's going on with my hair, but it almost feels like my hair is too heavy, and it's weighing down the curls towards the bottom, and that's why they don't curl. So first she cut it, and then she started thinning, and I was like, oh my god, all my hair is gone. But it was crazy because as soon as she started thinning a piece out, I just saw it like, boop, it just sprang up. Like, all that curl just immediately went, and it was like ringlets, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it so far. I don't hate it, which I guess is important, but I'm still getting used to it. So if I just look like a hot mess, and it's because I don't know what to do with my hair. But anyways, that's my finger in front of the camera. Okay, gonna continue doing homework, getting dressed. I might put on a little makeup, although I hate wearing makeup when I have allergies because, again, this eye leaks water, and then I do this, so it just makes any makeup that I put on it completely pointless. But we'll see. Anyways, I'll check in with you guys later, and yeah. Tuesday now, the 2nd of October, and I think I read like 5 pages yesterday. Oh god, my nose. Hi. Almost 7:40. I have to get going really soon. But I do have class today, so that's where I'm going to be heading. And I do have the group book for the Gilmore Girls Readathon downloaded on Script. It's the, I guess it's a memoir. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the book by, shut up. It's the book by Lauren Graham, Talking as Fast as I Can, and it talks about her life, or I guess her journey, from like Gilmore Girls, and then to other shows, and then back to Gilmore Girls. Anyway, it's the group book, and you know what, I love Lauren Graham, and the book is actually narrated by her, so I think this could be a really good pick for me. I don't normally read like nonfiction, so shout outs to this readathon for making me step out of my comfort zone and try to read other things. So anyway, I have the audiobook. It's a super short audiobook, so let's see how long it takes us to finish. But yeah, so I'll listen to that on the way to and from school, and then I'll just catch up with you guys a little bit later with more of my reading plans.
I guess we could keep it quiet for a while.
We could. That's what you want.
No, that's not what I want.
Well, we're just playing by ear.
Yeah. People will know when they know.
Right, sounds good.
Okay, so 7:30?
7:30.
You're gonna watch me walk away?
Yeah.
I'll add a little jaunt to it for you. What was that all about? We were just talking about our...
Good morning, guys. So it is, oh my god, what's today? Thursday. And I apologize for just not updating yesterday. I completely died. So I had class yesterday, and at around like the last 20 minutes of class, my sinuses decided to completely destroy me. And I developed a headache, and it was just really bad, and it sucks because I had plans to like stop in downtown and go to the bookstore and obviously vlog it, especially because one of the books on my Gilmore Girls Readathon TBR, I don't have it yet, and so I was gonna go to the bookstore and buy it, but I had to come home. Like, there was just no way. My eye was doing its thing, kind of like how it's doing it now, and my headache was not going to allow me to go anywhere. It was a sure sign that, one, obviously my sinuses was acting up, and two, I was really hungry. I hadn't brought anything to eat at school. I just really wanted to come home. I was feeling like crap, so I wanted to come home. So I did. Out the rest of the day. I literally stayed in bed all day and watched Gilmore Girls. So, I mean, I'm kind of doing this readathon right, a little bit. I got to season 5, so I'm on season 5 of Gilmore Girls now. But I did want to talk to you guys about that really quickly, because I mentioned that I had started watching Gilmore Girls, but that I jumped into a season because I love the series, obviously, doing this readathon. But I guess I was just feeling nostalgic for certain seasons of Gilmore Girls. So I started at season 4 because season 4 is my favorite. It's the season where Rory goes off to Yale, and I don't know, it just gives me like a lot of nostalgia watching it, not just because like I watched it a long time ago, but it just makes me think of when I first watched it. I was still in high school, right? High school or middle school? High school. Like, I was still in high school. I hadn't gone to college yet. So I'm like thinking of that time and all my assumptions, and I was like, man, this is what it's like. And then remembering me on my move-in day when I went to college, and I don't know, it was just, I wanted to feel those feelings again. So I jumped to season 4, watched it all the way through, and now I'm in season 5. And I realized something that I think this is like a sure sign that you're growing up when you stop, like, you don't identify as much with Rory anymore, and you identify more with Lorelai and her struggles. Like, I really feel that. There's like a particular episode in season 4 where they're both crying, and when aren't they crying? But they're both like having mental breakdowns because they feel like they're failing. And like I understood Rory's like her struggle with it, but now in my time in my life now, the reason that Lorelai was breaking down because she's so close to achieving her dream, but she just feels like she's failing in all aspects of her life and that she can't like make it across the finish line. I was like, oh my god, that's so me. I feel that. And I was like, man, I remember watching this when I was younger and I was like, man, she's like really emotional over this, but like Rory's the one that actually has shit to worry about. But no, it's really interesting how that changes. So plan is obviously to do more reading. Let me pull it up here. So I did do some reading yesterday, obviously my audiobook, when I was going to and from school. I only have an hour left, so that's really good. I made huge progress yesterday. So I do have to clean around the house a bit. It's like, it's a real freaking mess. So I think I'm just gonna listen to that last hour of the audiobook and do some cleaning and then cook some breakfast because that was my stomach. I don't know if you guys heard that. My stomach's like, bitch, feed me. So yeah, I'm gonna clean, listen to the rest of that audiobook and then make some breakfast and then chill for a little bit and then I'll jump back into Serpent and Dove. Did I even mention that I was reading that? I don't know. Started, kind of. I'm only like 5 pages in, but I started Serpent and Dove and that is on my TBR as well. So I'm hoping to get further into that. And yeah, I will update you guys when I'm further in on Serpent and Dove and actually have things to say about it. But for now, I'm just the big confused. I have no idea what's going on in these first 5 pages. But that's it. That's all the update I have. And oh no, there's something else I wanted to show you guys. So yes, I know my hair looks weird and I'm trying not to show off the mess that is my house. But if you follow me on Twitter, then you know a couple things. 1, that I got a haircut, and 2, that I have been wanting to dye my hair, which for me is on par for the course. Typically with every season change, I want to do something different to my hair. Probably at the expense of all the people around me who are like, bitch, just stick to a hair and like don't do anything. So and it sucks because I think I tend to fall prey to like seasonal styles. It's funny because now that I've gotten a haircut, the haircut cut off a lot of the blonde pieces that were at the bottom. But I have, if you've watched my videos, you've seen it. If you follow me on Twitter, you've seen photos of my hair. And now fall's here. So fall, of course, is all like the dark colors and stuff. And I don't know, I just kind of been feeling like I wanted to dye my hair darker. When it came down to looking at hair colors at the grocery store, I was like, I can't bring myself to do the black anymore because people kept telling me not to. So I did the next best thing. And it's like the darkest of dark brown. But I mean, it's probably the color of my roots if we're being completely honest. Whatever, it's hair, you can change it, it's not the end of the world. But anyways, if we do anything about this hair with the color, I might do that today or tomorrow, I don't know yet. But anyways, I just thought I'd share the fact that I'm an indecisive bitch. while since I've sat in front of the camera and gave you guys like an actual update. So that's what this is. I know I've done like montagey stuff for this whole vlog, and I do apologize. I've been in this weird headspace of like, I want to vlog, but I also don't feel like talking to the camera. So, which is kind of a problem because for a reading vlog, that's part of what makes it interesting, is just sitting down and hanging out and talking about stuff with you guys. So, day that I finished the group book for the Gilmore Girls Readathon, and that was Talking as Fast as I Can, From Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls by Lauren Graham. I listened to it on audiobook. I always struggle to, well, first of all, I don't typically read a memoir style books. I just don't find them that interesting unless the person is someone that I'm already vaguely interested in. So like, I was kind of interested in Lauren Graham already because of Gilmore Girls, so I was like, this could be a fun read. But it's always weird because I feel like I'm kind of rating their life story when I rate memoirs, and that just always feels awkward to me. So I based my rating on a couple of different factors, and I'll get into them. So I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I found it thoroughly enjoyable, so I did base my rating on enjoyment factor. That was one of the parts that I rated on. And I really did enjoy this. I think that Lauren Graham just has a way with, like, I wouldn't even call it public speaking, but I think listening to it on audiobook really helped me, because just hearing her talk and how she wanted it to be read, I think made a huge difference for me narratively. So I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed, I guess, how familiar it all felt. It didn't really read so much as like memoir, like this was her life story. It read more like, this is my career life story. We did follow her, as I said, we follow her through her career essentially. So in some ways it worked for me, and in some ways it didn't. It did kind of feel like we were at a distance, not being into her private life, but that's not really for me to dictate. If she doesn't want to talk about her private life, she doesn't have to talk about her private life. And is the main character. And that's why I have all these expectations of like, well, let us get closer and personal with the character, but that's actually her in the book, so, you know, whatever she's comfortable sharing. The structure of the book, and I think this, structurally, this is why I gave it 4 and not 5, but I just felt like it was a little bit awkward. We start off where she's kind of telling this story of, like, I understand she's trying to preface the story by saying, hey, like, Gilmore Girls was such a fun time, but I felt like it threw me off in a timeline because structurally I can tell that she's trying to go from like, when I was a kid I was really into this, and then, you know, in college and school and high school and so on and so forth, up until she actually makes her break in Gilmore Girls. I just kind of feel like I got lost sometimes. Like sometimes we'd be talking about Gilmore Girls, but then we'd jump back to a time when she was on Broadway and like trying to get started. And I don't know if that's maybe just me, like I read it wrong and I missed something, but I just felt like we jumped a little too much in the timeline of the structure that she tried to establish. For that I gave it 4 stars, but again, 4 stars is still a great rating. I still enjoyed my time reading this. I think if you're already a fan of Gilmore Girls, you will really love this book, because I think those are my favorite parts, honestly. Like, I've seen a couple episodes of Parenthood, but like I know Lauren Graham from Gilmore Girls. So it was really nice to read those parts where she talks about her experience in Gilmore Girls and kind of like a little bit behind the scenes of what they were thinking as actors when, you know, the show was picked up, and then at the end of season 7 when they weren't sure if they were going to come back, and then coming back for Gilmore Girls The Day in the Life. So it was just really interesting to get like all that privy knowledge. So if you're already a fan of the show, I think you will enjoy this book. If you're a fan of Lorelai Gilmore, you'll enjoy this. If you're a fan of Lauren Graham, you'll enjoy this. But yes, 4 out of 5 stars for that. And then physically, I am reading Serpent and Dove. I don't have the dust jacket on it, but I'm reading Serpent and Dove, and I am on page 189. So I feel like I have some mixed opinions on this book. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I have seen countless people on book Twitter give this 5 stars. So I don't know if my expectations are just incredibly high now, but that's promising to me. And then just the premise, like, it's a witch that has to marry a witch hunter, like, sounds great, sounds steamy, sounds enemies to lovers to whatever, that sounds all fantastic. Well, I can say at 189 pages is where I'm at. So, like, I'm not even really halfway into the book, so maybe, you know, I am keeping an open mind. But so far, I'm confused. Like, I just feel like I'm confused, and I only have very, very little information on this world. And I feel like for being nearly 200 pages into it, I should have more information, or at least more of a grasp on this world and the happenings of it. I'm the big confused. Someone's after Lou. We don't know who. It's the big ominous she in the book. Although I have maybe a hint or like an inkling as to who it may be. But no concrete answer. We don't know who it is. So we're nearly 200 pages in. We don't know who is after her. I don't really understand how Chaucer's, it's French, I don't know French, just trying. But, I don't really know Chaucer's, I just know that they're witch hunters. But there's a section on, like, Chaucers that get married and those that don't, and what getting married makes the Chaucers do. Like, I'm really confused on what a married Chaucer, like, how that affects their career. I don't know. So I think that makes the part where, like, the guy is like, well, the only solution here is for you two to get married. And I'm like, is it though? Is that the only solution? Like, I'm almost not buying it, because I don't know what's at stake between unmarried Chaucers and married Chaucers. It's meant, again, it says it like briefly, but I don't understand what it means. There's a part in this book where Reed, who's the Chaucer, that's the other perspective that we're reading about, and he's like once you're a married Chaucer, something happens, and then you like leave, let's call it Chaucer Academy for all these Chaucer trainings, and like you leave this legion of Chaucers once you get married. And I'm like, well, why? That doesn't get answered. And then I'm questioning, well, is that what his aversion is to getting married? There's no answer, because we find out that there's a girl that he's in love with that's not Lou, the main character. He's in love with this other girl, but she told him that she couldn't marry him, or he told her that he couldn't marry her. And again, I was like, why? So there's a lot of whys for me right now and not too many answers, which is kind of driving me crazy. The writing style, I understand this is a debut, so I'm a little more lenient with how the writing style is acting, but it almost feels awkward. There's certain sentences I have to reread multiple times because I'm just like, I'm confused. I don't know what the author is trying to say in that one sentence. So I think there's moments in here where the writing is very simple and very straightforward, which I appreciate, especially in a debut novel. And then there are other times where just word choice and like sentence structure seems really awkward to me. And it's surprising to me because I have heard so many people rave about this book and say that it's great, and excuse me, I just burped, and give it 5 stars. And I want to be on that boat. Like, I want to love this book. So I guess I'm just really confused and shocked by how it's going so far. That being said, I do have a lot more pages to go. This book's like a 500 something pages. So, you know, there is definitely room to improve. There is definitely room for this to be saved. So I'm trying to remain hopeful and trying to force myself to sit down and read it, because that's where I'm at this point, is I need to force myself to read it. So I bought 3 books while I was at the store, and the first one was, it still has the tag for the price. It was on sale, okay, $5, heck yes. And that's Frostblood by Ellie Blake. I've already read this. I think I gave it 5 stars. 5 stars, or I gave it 4 stars. Either way, I freaking loved it. But I didn't have the first one because I checked it out from the library, so now I have it. And I picked up the last book. Oh, I'm so excited. Like, it's taking everything in me not to pick this up right now. I'm going to read this for Spookathon, which is, I already forgot the dates for it, but I feel like that was a very Gilmore Girls moment, so I'm appreciating it. I'm pretty sure that Spookathon is happening immediately after the Gilmore Girls Readathon, so I won't have to wait much longer to read this, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like, this is the fastest I've ever blown through a book series, and I've been wanting to find a new series that I could just binge read, and I found it, and now it's over, and I'm emotional. Anyways, excited about that. But I found this while I was looking for Check Please, and that is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. Again, another graphic novel that I've heard a lot of great things about. So I'm really excited to get into it. I think I'm gonna read this for the Gilmore Girls Readathon, so you'll see me read it in either this vlog or the next vlog that I start. I was really banking on Check Please because it literally knocks off like 3 of the prompts in one. But we'll see. Maybe this will actually work for a couple prompts as well. Oh, it's just such a cute book and like perfect for the season. So either way, I'm very excited for it. That's it for my update. I talked about the 2 books. I showed you what I got at the bookstore. Honestly, this vlog is kind of sort of failing and kind of not. Kind of up in the air. But I've just spent so much time playing Pokemon Go. So if you have Pokemon Go, let me know in the comments. Let's be friends. This Gilmore Girls Readathon has turned into a Gilmore Girls Watchathon. Just to put it in perspective, when I started this vlog, I was on season 4 of Gilmore Girls. Now, yeah, I didn't start at the beginning, but I started where I wanted to at my favorite season. And I don't know why I thought there was more seasons. Like, I thought there was 8 seasons in Gilmore Girls, but there's only 7. And I've already made it through 7 seasons. I have 1 more episode left in the series, and then I go into a year in the life or whatever the fuck. So I've been flying through, and I haven't been reading as much because I've just been watching Gilmore Girls. It's a problem. I'm aware, but it really is just like the perfect time to watch Gilmore Girls. Like, the weather's nice and cozy. You could wrap up and have some coffee, have a muffin, have a Pop-Tart. I'm just like living for it. So I've been watching that. It's made me really happy, and I've been really relaxed as I watch it. So I love my hair. I love it. I just love it. Lorelai's the best character. All this time, all these years, I've spent my life thinking Rory was the best character. Nope. I don't know why, but I find myself way more annoyed with Rory now that I'm rewatching it. Like, I still love her, of course. It's Rory freaking Gilmore. But there's so many moments in there where, like, she gets visibly upset at her mom, and I'm like, why are you upset at your mom? Like, you need to chill the fuck out and gain some perspective. I don't know, it's just... She's not the character to root for anymore, I guess, now that I'm older. I say that like I'm 35 already. Oh my god, I'm gonna be 25 in December. Getting old sucks.